Hi everyone and welcome back to XGate Dental. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh and we are here to discuss new procedures in the field of dentistry. We will provide interesting new cases to exhibit how doctors use our products to solve complicated dental cases. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us to stay up to date, and let's get started. Today we have a case of restoration on 3 implants on 3 multi-units. This is an abrasion probably caused from aggressive teeth brushing. What we want to show in this case is the difference between different types of multi-units that you can use and different types of screw channels that you can use while you're using those multi-units. So, for example, when using the V-type multi-unit, you have different types of sleeves. If you use the 4mm sleeve, there's an option for you to use the small screw channel. The small screw channel where the screw itself is embedded inside the bridge between the sleeve and the crown itself, and the size of the screw channel is for the screwdriver. And that's all. So you can see that you have a small screw channel just for the screwdriver, for the hex inside to close the screw and to tighten the screw. And if you're using a 3mm sleeve, for example, you can see that the screw channel that you're using is for the whole screw. So the screw channel is very, very big, and the surface that the screw channel occupies from the surface of the tooth is very large in percentage to the area itself. It makes the bridge much more fragile. This is probably leftovers of cement because the cementation of the sleeve is in the mouth, because you want to compensate on different types of inaccuracies that were made because of the scanning and the manufacturing and the sintering process. So when you cement the sleeve inside the mouth, then take out the bridge, you can clean them outside of the mouth. So there won't be any leftovers of cementation. Here you can see the 3 multi-units that we'll be restoring the bridge on. There are different multi-units that we're using. We took impressions on one height of multi-units, and then on one of the multi-units, we changed its height without taking an impression. This is one of the options that you have when you are restoring on XGate's multi-units on the V-type multi-units. So we took the impression from the 2mm multi-unit, then we changed it to the 3mm multi-unit, and then what the doctor is doing is just switching from 2mm to 3mm, and he can screw the bridge. You can do it with D-type also, but not with angulated multi-units. The straight ones with all of the multi-units, you can do this, and you can do this without taking an impression again. Doing it with only one impression, it saves another appointment, and you can see how small the screw channel is in here and how less of the tooth surface the screw channel occupies. And on the contrary, you can see on this molar how much of the tooth surface the screw channel has here. When you're using a standard sleeve or big sleeve, you have enough space inside the sleeve to keep the screw. So you can insert the screw to the sleeve and then cement the sleeve with the screw to the crown. This way you can have in the crown a very small screw channel. The screw channel is not for the screw. It's only for the hex driver to tighten the screw. If you're using small sleeves, then you can't keep the screw inside the sleeve. You need to insert the screw through the crown. So the screw channel needs to be a little bit larger than the screw itself. So the head of the screw just goes right through. If you're using standard sleeves or big sleeves, you have the option to have a small screw channel. But in many posterior teeth, you don't have enough space and you don't have enough height. So you can't use standard sleeves. You're using smaller sleeves, and then you have the option to use small screw channels. You can do with the PMMA to check the design, and then you can mill it from zirconia. And then you have the same thing with the zirconia bridge. Thank you everyone that joined in to learn some new and interesting information. Make sure to stay tuned, and of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you, and see you guys next time.